Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Cape Rugby TV time, where we take a look at what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. It was certainly a lot of action this past weekend. We'll take a look at that during the course of the show. Before we get our wheels turning though, let me first just say a big thanks to our partners on board with us, Score Energy Drinks, of course on board with Western Province Club Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. Of course, MChem 24-hour pharmacy on the corner of N1 and Durban Road. Tonight we're going to take a little look at their IV clinic. And of course, Decro Paints. Decro brings paint to life. We'll bring you your DIY Decro tip during the course of the show. Back in studio with me, Jerome Parvata. Jerome, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks JP. Good to be back and good to see all the guys are playing. It seems like it's a normal week now of rugby.
Faisal Felton. Faisal, nice to have you back, man.
Yeah, good evening, JP. Good evening, listeners. Always good to be back.
It was a big one for you guys this weekend. I mean, we spoke about this last week, that it was all going to now get started, and literally on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, or let's say about 12 o'clock, the first teams and under 20s and whoever else was mixing in, but by 4 o'clock, the whole of Western Province was playing.
No, definitely. I think this last couple of weeks, JP, have been, I wouldn't say it's been tough, struggling to keep the head above the water, and I think from our side, the club rugby season has kicked off. I think we sort of in full swing. Just, a few of the clubs still need to find their feet, get the friendlies going, but other than that, we're good to go. Yeah,
and some of the clubs also took an opportunity, Jerome, to play chuckers. For example, Helderberg had a couple of, they said they were having trials this weekend. Kraaifontein had a rugby day with multiple clubs. So in addition to the more organized friendly, there's also still a bit of social friendlies.
Yeah, it was quite a good day at Helderberg because the SA under-20s played against the Currie Cup squad. And then obviously they played, so it was a great atmosphere.
Yeah. Folks, so we've got quite a lot of highlight videos for you that came in from our various contributors in the club rugby space. Of course, clubs sending us their videos and including their logos and their sponsor logos wherever they need. So we're going to take a look tonight. Brackenfell Hamiltons, they were in action at Hamiltons. Peniel Villages was up against Vineyards at least. We went down to Villages this weekend. We've got some highlights there for you. Jerome's got us some footage from the DHL Western Province women's side. They played against the Springboks practice side. Is that right, Jerome?
Yep.
Yeah.
They played last night against the SA team. The Springboks are leaving tomorrow for Europe on tour.
All right, we'll take a look at that during the course of the show. And then, of course, something from Titans. And then this past Friday was the strength and conditioning course at Newlands. But let's take a look quickly at some of the highlights that we got in from Letitia at Hamiltons. Brackenfell against Hamiltons. right, there we go. Jerome, let's go to you. First game that we're taking a look at here, Brackenfell Hamiltons. These are two teams that you know are going to be contenders in the during Super League A. Of course, Hamiltons themselves and Brackenfell will be looking now to see how they are shaping. Or is it too early? Is it more just practice running?
No, look, you can see what the guys are trying to do, and especially like with Hamiltons, you can see, I saw there's a lot of guys who's still under 21, who's in the junior structures, who are playing now in the first team, which is good. It's good to give that guys a run. And at Brackenfell, you can see what they're trying to do. They basically try to work on their set pieces. And I think it's good also to see that they're not afraid, like we said last week. I mean, it's two Super A teams. They're going to play each other in the league, and they're not afraid to play. But you can see what they do. They're using the young guys, and they're trying not to show too many stuff, but they're trying to play a little bit of their structure. But it's good. You can see what they try to do in bringing in the guys.
Faisal, from a league perspective, are you guys getting the feeling yet that the guys have an idea where they want to be, or is it, as Jerome says, still early days?
JP, it's less than a week to go before we sort of had the cutoff for movement. So basically, this is your last week to decide where you want to play, what you want to do. And then, you know, from next week onwards, if you're playing at a club, you're basically bound to that particular club. So I think, again, it's the last week now, finding your feet, like Jerome says, you know, giving everybody opportunity. We're less than 3 weeks away, 3-4 weeks away from the season starting, and I think, you know, we're going to start settling down, and, you know, everybody's, again, going to be focused on in terms of the season.
So you just brought up an interesting point when you say movement. They've got to move a week still. When you say movement, you're referring to players choosing where they want to play?
100%. So, you know, you can still move around.
Yeah.
Clubs where you want to play, still deciding where you want to be. But after next week, if you play for that club, you're basically bound to the club. You obviously got to be registered with that club as well.
Right. Okay. Well, Jerome, we're going to have to talk to you about that, because that's going to be. We'll talk about that after the break. But that's a very interesting topic, and I think so. Jerome, we're going to have to go to the break now. But that's interesting from the perspective of where does that put the coach, you know, in terms of their mindset. But folks, we've still got a nice full show for you tonight. So a lot of clips that came in from the clubs. And then this is, of course, just a reminder, the clubs, send us your videos, and of course, include your sponsors. And don't forget your jerseys, right? We get your jerseys up behind us. Every club needs sponsorship. And right now, if you're sitting in that seat, you should be thinking to yourself, well, how am I going to get exposure for my club? Well, there's no better exposure than getting exposure on television. And then you can go take that to one of your local businesses and try and get sponsorship. All right. And of course, Western Province Rugby teach you how to get sponsorship. You'll know that every club has a media marketing and sponsorship representative that has been taught how to do it. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.